Hi, this is Mortality with Meep. I'm going to be doing a series of videos on the statistics I've been seeing with regards to COVID deaths and trying to compare it to other years historically that I have good data for. Um, and for this one, I'm going to try to keep it short, just looking at one graph. What I am doing here is for these defined age groups, and these are picked because this is how the CDC provided the data for this year 2020. And what I've done, I have mortality data going for the US, as in total number of deaths by age, by sex, and it goes back to 1933, so I can't do the Spanish flu pandemic, not yet. I don't have good data on that. But there were two big flu pandemics during the 20th century. Those were the 1957/1958 Asian flu and then the 1968 Hong Kong flu pandemic. And these did both actually have a noticeable mortality effect in the United States in those years. Then I did a projection for kind of my best estimate up to October 23rd. So data taken October 23rd this year. And I compared it against 2018. I don't have 2019 deaths. The CDC, this is normal, by the way. It takes at least a full year before you get good death statistics in the US. Let's move on. So let's go all the way to the right. The blue bar in all of these are my estimate of the impact of mortality in 2020. And I'm seeing it's about 10% increased number of deaths compared to 2018. If we look at both the Asian flu and the Hong Kong flu pandemics, we see overall for the total population, so we're not even considering age range, etc., the increased mortality, the increased number of deaths was about 4% for both of those years. And those were fairly large increases. Now, there were some non-pandemic years that also showed increases, and I do want to dig into that. I believe 1993 was bad for some reason, and I'm not quite sure why. I think that might relate to AIDS as well as a few other bad trends just coming to a head at the same time. But I could be wrong. In any case, let's focus on this and look at the impact in terms of the age. So the orange one is that 1957 Asian flu, and you'll see that at young ages, so for children under 1 year, 1 to 4 years, 5 to 14 years, we had elevated mortality for those age groups. And this is from all causes. Then it doesn't increase so much for these middle years, kind of middle-aged people. We did see a higher impact. But for age 85 and over, I want you to look, actually, all three bars are at about the same level, between 5 and 10%. I'm just kind of eyeballing in here, about 7% for that range. If I look at the Hong Kong flu in 1968, we see children were actually down, so that's under 1 year and 1 to 4 years. Then there was an impact. Actually, we see a large impact for 15 to 24-year-olds and 25 to 34-year-olds those years. And then kind of comes down, and then it comes back again that old people are affected. Okay, that we have extra deaths. And again, this is just based off of the total number of deaths. I'm not doing mortality rates in this particular graph. And now we come to my current best estimate of the mortality impact. And again, this is total deaths, not deaths from COVID, just deaths from any cause. And I'm comparing the number of deaths in this age range to the number of deaths in 2020, my best estimate projection. And so I had some data through mid-October when I did this. So we have that spring spike, and then I, assumed there were a certain number of additional deaths, excess deaths to the end of the year, and scaled that out. It's a pretty, it's not going to be, unless there's another spike, it's unlikely to be too different from what I have here. But, it might change, and I can come back and fix the numbers later. Okay, So let's look at our blue bars because we are seeing some extreme things going on here. For the children, we see the number of deaths recorded being way down. Now, there can be a variety of reasons for this. The under 1 year is infant mortality. And you can have infant mortality go down because you don't have as many babies born to begin with. I don't know if we're going to have a little mini baby bust because of the pandemic or even a mini baby boom. Who knows? But once we get to 1 to 4 years old or 5 to 14 years old, we still see those are negative numbers. And what may be happening there is that a lot of the top killers for children are accidental causes of death. And that generally is car accidents and drowning, say in a pool or in the ocean. And if you didn't go anywhere for a vacation, well, you didn't drown. Um, some people have pools in their backyards, but there's not very many kids who die between age 1 and 14. 5 to 14 is actually very, very low death rates, and we'll see that when I do a video on death rates. I want to jump over the kind of younger adults and go to the older people first. Again, that 85 years and over, that's about 6 to 7% increase. So that's actually less than the overall increase for the total population. But where we're really seeing some increased mortality for the older people is that 65 to 84 bin. So the 65 to 74 years old, those are boomers. And we can see it's a little under 15%, so I'll just eyeball it and say 14% increase and come down. And we see that 75 to 84, is, about 12% increase. And then 55 to 64%, it's about a 9% increase. 45 to 54, that's the bin I'm in. I'm just looking about between 8 and 9%. Okay. Now here are the numbers that are really concerning me. And I will be doing additional videos about this because this is where I'm very concerned. If we look from age 15 to 44, I'm seeing very large increases in death. And again, when I dig into it, this isn't COVID directly. They're not marking these down, all of them. Some of them are COVID deaths, but very few of them are, actually. If we look at the 35 to 44-year group, again, this is number of deaths. Yes, it can change because you have a different number of population, but I'm comparing this against 2018. It doesn't change a lot year to year. That it's over 20% increase. That's huge. That is ginormous. To be fair, the number of people who die age 35 to 44 or 25 to 34 or 15 to 24 is a very small number relatively compared to 85 and over. And again, I'll do much longer videos where I'm really digging into everything that's in the spreadsheet. And I'll provide a link to the spreadsheet and you can dig into it yourself. This is, I'm assuming there's a bunch of extra deaths this year from suicide, from drug overdoses, actually from car accidents. In my own town, we're a very small town, but we have these, picturesque roads, and people have been racing their high-end vehicles on our roads. Now, they kind of try to do that in normal times too, but because a lot of us have nowhere to go and we're just working from home, the roads are kind of empty, a little empty, and a couple of people have wrapped their cars around trees around here. That said, I'm thinking there are going to be a lot of, how shall we put it? Well, not infectious disease deaths in that young adult range. And this is very concerning for me. No, we haven't been hearing a lot about that. And I will just leave it at that. So this is a single graph in the spreadsheet. Feel free to contact me if you have any questions. You can leave comments on the video, or you can email me, marypat.campbell@gmail.com. And that will get me to I'm on Twitter at meepbobeep. And I try to make it very easy for people to find me online. Mary Pat Campbell, actuary, if you search on that, that will pretty much all of those will be me, and you will be able to figure out how to contact me. So, see ya.